Do you ever make yourself responsible for other people's happiness? I used to do this when I was married with my in-laws. I actually thought that my behavior, my actions I was responsible for their happiness. I felt so much pressure to eat certain things. They're Italian, and at that time in my life, I was vegan. And I would weigh myself down because they ate veal and, meatballs and lasagna and bolognese. And I felt as though I was an inconvenience. I was a burden because I was vegetarian. And I could have just enjoyed myself and honored my desires to be vegetarian at the time. But I would make myself feel bad about myself because those were the ways that I thought I wanted to eat. And somehow I would get, upset with myself because I noticed how that would frustrate my mother-in-law, who was Italian and loves to cook. And I would take it personally that somehow I was ruining the fun by being vegetarian. And by the same token, sometimes when we're at parties with our in-laws and our friends, and maybe we want to talk to our friends while our in-laws are in one room, and somehow we make ourselves think that we're responsible for their happiness in the party. And so we might take away our ability to just be happy with how we want to see our friends and we want to spend some time with them. And so when you feel that you're responsible for how everybody's getting along or how people are feeling at events, that's a sign of codependency. We're dependent on each other for each other's happiness. And we create this, and it's very heavy and it's exhausting. And over time, we are the ones that are sort of ruining that relationship but the thing is, we don't know what we don't know, right? And that's why I'm making this recording, because we were raised a lot of times to people please and to think that our actions are the reason how we get love, and that we think that the way to get love is by making other people happy and doing things that make them happy. And that's what I learned as a child, that I have to be a good girl. I have to wear dresses to go to church on Sunday. I love to wear corduroy pants, and I was a tomboy. But my mom would get very unhappy because I would want to wear pants to go to church. And so I would give up my authentic desires to wear my corduroy favorite pants, and I would go change and wear the dresses that my mom bought me to look like a pretty girl, be a good girl in church. And I would give up my authentic, my personality, my how I was, to please my mother. And I would get really mad because I really didn't want to wear dresses. And this probably happened when I was like 7 or 8 or 9. And over time, I lost like my persona, what I really wanted. And I just started to please my mother because I wanted to get her approval. I wanted my mom. I always wanted my mother to approve of me. And it's really amazing because no matter how hard I tried to make my mom happy, I never did. I was never able to make her happy. And I really got exhausted over time, and I just was very unhappy because I was living for other people. By the time I was 37 years old, living this way, trying to make my husband happy, trying to make my daughter happy, trying to make my mother happy, trying to make everybody at work happy. And nobody knew that I was exhausting myself doing this. I created this whole thing, and I didn't even realize what I was doing. But then somehow, miraculously, I guess because I was miserable, and I hit rock bottom in a way. I got my divorce at age 37. I just was exhausted, tired of myself. And basically, I really divorced myself in that marriage. And I was so sad because my father left when I was 14 years old and my parents got a divorce, and he never kept in touch with me, and I felt so abandoned and I felt unlovable. I didn't feel worthy. I felt always that people didn't like me. I made up this story that I was a burden, that I was an inconvenience. And it's really amazing because when I was young, my mom always told me that she almost died when she had me. I was born breech. I was born feet first. And my mom told me that the birth was so traumatic, and she bled so much she almost died. And I think she said they had to give her a transfusion. And so when I heard that story, every time I heard that story, for many years I heard that story, I would feel bad that somehow I almost was the cause of my mom's death, and that my being born was an inconvenience, that my being born was and especially feet first, like I made it hard for my mom to have me, to birth me, and how something was wrong with me, that somehow that was bad, that I did all that. And then on top of that, my mother told me that she couldn't breastfeed me, that I didn't want her milk, and that I couldn't latch on, and I didn't want her milk. And so years later, I become a pediatric physical therapist, an infant massage instructor. I learn all about breastfeeding. I wound up working at a lactation department and becoming an infant massage instructor there. And in this training, they were just talking about how primal health, how the way that a mother bonds with her baby after birth affects that child and their relationship their whole life. And that certain genes are expressed for a lifetime, based on how you felt nurtured as a baby. And so if I look back at my past and the way that I was raised and the things that my mother said and the things that I heard as a child and the way that I was treated, I was seeking for so long so much validation, I was seeking so much approval and so much love in so many different ways, because I did not get that feeling that you're loved no matter what. You're so welcome to be here. I love that you're here in my life. I didn't receive those messages. And my mom even told me that while she was pregnant, she found out that my father had cheated on her and that he was maybe even going to leave her for another woman. And I remember doing a past life regression and looking like an alien and hearing my mom yelling at my father while I was in her belly, and how there was so much unrest in utero for me. And I know this might sound crazy, but I didn't even know that past life regression stuff exists. But somehow I was led to Brian Weiss and many lives of many masters and workshops, and I've done so much deep and profound healing and wanting to learn, why was it that I felt so sad in my life as a teenager and as an adult, and why was it so hard for me to accept my in-laws, accept that my Italian in-laws and the culture, and just why was I always trying to kind of annoy them or challenge them to love me? It's really interesting. My mother-in-law was so loving, but it was like a tough love, and she didn't mean it. She didn't mean to hurt my feelings. She didn't mean, that's all she knew. And looking back on all of my life, I wish if I could have done it differently, I would have just let love in. I would have just allowed myself to receive the love that my in-laws had to offer me in their own way, instead of me judging them, criticizing them. And just like with my mother, what if I didn't have to take it personally that my mom had such a dramatic and traumatic birth and pregnancy? And what if it was okay? What if my mom happens to be very dramatic? She loves telenovelas. And what if her and my dad had to go through whatever they had to go through, and somehow I felt like I was an inconvenience? I made up that story, and I made up that story that I was a burden. My parents and my in-laws, they never said that to me, but somehow I made that up. And this is something else that we all have to realize, that we all make up stories about we give meaning to what it means that our own self-worth is based on how people treat us. And it's really important for us to just honor ourselves and everybody else as interdependent, sovereign beings. And I'm going to say that again. We can be so healthy and have great relationships only when we are sovereign, interdependent beings. And we stop making ourselves responsible for other people's happiness. We can never have a healthy relationship with someone if we are changing how we act according to wanting to please them or make them happy. We'll never be relaxed in those relationships. So imagine that you could just be very in touch with your heart. That you breathe throughout the day and you close your eyes and you feel yourself. And you acknowledge that you matter in your own life and that your feelings matter. And imagine that you start today living this way as a sovereign person, governing over your own feelings and your own desires, and you connect deeply to your heart and your soul and your body by witnessing the sensations in your body and by taking deep breaths. Inhale, expand your breathing ability, expand it, inhaling through the nose. And feel the expansion. Exhale. And let's do this for a little while. Let's get into our bodies right now. I've been talking a lot and sharing a lot, and now we are all we're practicing becoming sovereign. We're focusing on ourselves instead of on my stories. And this is all a practice. Focus on yourself. The only thing that you govern over is yourself. The only thing that you have command over is your own focus, your own place of attention on yourself. And the more you feel your heart, the more you feel breathing expansion happening in your body, that's gonna help you be present and get more in touch with your own feelings and sensations and thoughts. Let's do this 3 times. Hand over your chest, close your eyes, and feel the expansion sensations as you breathe in through your nose. Hold it at the top of that breath. Pause and feel without any judgment. Be mindful. Mindfulness is moment-to-moment awareness, and we can have this experience of self-awareness. When you can't hold the breath any longer, just exhale. Feel that surrendering to the exhale. We're going to do this 2 more times. Close your eyes, hands on chest. Feel the expansion. Hold it at the top. Feel all the sensations. Inhale, feel yourself. Feel the space around your body, within your body. Feel your space. This is your territory. Hold it at the top. Get to know yourself, not just as a physical body breathing in. Notice the energy. Breath, expansion, causes us to feel more the energy that flows through our body. One more time, we're going to inhale deeply, hold it at the top. Inhaling through the nose, feel your heart, feel the energy of your heart and all of your body expanding. Exhale. And now you're going to open up your arms, open up your legs. Maybe you're laying down, maybe you're standing up. Stand up if you can and just reach your arms up, reach your arms out. Separate your legs, become a 5-pointed star. Inhale, 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 and claim your space. Your 5-pointed star, outstretch yourself. Expanded, hold it at the top. Feel that energy that you are. This is my space. This is my energy. Get to know yourself. This is your reference of yourself. And then exhale. You're not a burden. You're not an inconvenience. Spread out your body. Inhale, inhale, inhale. 5-pointed star. Take up your space, honor your space, and be big. Go big. Give yourself permission to go big and to expand and expand and expand your beautiful self. Regardless of what other people want you to be, we're never going to be happy if we're changing our authentic self for other people. That's called people pleasing. And eventually, like myself, that led me to being really unhappy and divorcing my former husband, which really was just a reflection of my old version of myself, divorcing myself. I was in very codependent. They call these toxic relationships where we didn't respect each other. We didn't honor each other's authentic desires. We didn't create agreements. We were not listening and trying to understand each other. We didn't understand ourselves. We were so young when we met. And I felt so guilty, so bad, because I project all my unhappiness on my former partner and my daughter. And everybody, honestly. I mean, this is what we do. This is why today I was inspired to create the ALVA Method. I learned about the love hormone, which is also our healing hormone. It's the bonding hormone, the focus hormone, oxytocin, endorphins, dopamine. I learned about how to engage and amplify these hormones in our bodies. And I told myself, after my divorce, I made myself a promise. You're going to learn how to love yourself. You're going to learn how to be healthy. But I said this to myself in a very unhealthy way. I was very hard on myself because I felt like I failed. Being raised Catholic, you don't get a divorce. That's not what you do. So I lived in a very codependent world, and I based my happiness, I modified who I was according to what I thought other people wanted of me. Nobody was asking me for these things. I made it all up in my head, and I exhausted myself. I did all this to myself. This is what we do, everyone. So when we start to take responsibility for our lives and we realize that we could be consciously creating our unconscious programmed life, we can override those programs, the unconscious things that run our lives 90% of the time. I've learned how to be a self-aware woman and notice myself and what I say and what comes out of my mouth automatically, and how I can be more present to, do I really want to say that? Why did I say that? And breathing and feeling and connecting to myself and knowing that my feelings matter and I matter in my life. That's what's changed. That instead of me just looking, how can I make them happy? I actually have a reference point of myself today. The E3 breath helps me so much. I teach this to everyone. Have your own reference point of yourself. And ask yourself more throughout the day, what do you really wish to create? How do you feel? Would you like to say yes to that person? Does that feel aligned with your authentic truth? Or do I want to say no? Do I feel a no? What do I feel? How do I feel? And feeling by what are the sensations in your body? Notice how the idea of going in that direction, going to that college, going to that party, dating that person, seeing them that day, how does that feel in my body? Does that feel true for me? Does that feel aligned for me? Am I gravitating in that direction? Or do I want to go in the direction of yes or no? And we can live our lives listening to our heart and what our true heart's desires are. That's also your intuition, your higher knowing. There's many words for this. The voice of God inside you. As opposed to our ego that is based on our identity of who we think we're supposed to be, cultivated by birth to 7 years old in childhood. And so adult life for me has become about unlearning the unhealthy, codependent programming, how to have relationships like that. And I mean, I'm still single, and I've learned, because I feel I have wanted to create this deep bond with myself. And at the same time, this fear of trusting a man, of trusting myself, that I could choose someone that I feel is going to be the highest version of myself, mirroring sacred partner, right? And so I myself, who loves my job, I love my family now, I accept everyone, I've healed. I really feel that I have learned how to forgive myself. I have forgiven myself. And all the stories that I made up that kept me from receiving so much love from myself. And maybe I've been a little too hard on this self-love journey, making sure that I love myself and that I will never hurt myself again the way I hurt myself in my life in the past. When I was 14 years old, I lost my virginity. I hurt myself because I didn't say no. And the whole time my body was clammy, my body was stiff, and I was so afraid, like a deer with the headlights on. And I gave up myself and what I wanted, because the attention that that teenager was giving me was what I needed at the time. I missed my dad so much that it felt better for me to have the pain of that attention from some other person than for me to just be alone and be sad that I miss my dad. So I was looking for men to give me attention, even at that young age, after my parents divorced. I was magnetized to this teenager. I missed my dad so much. I was looking for, how can I get satiated? This missing, this sadness, it was just overtaking me. That pain that I felt of having that first sexual experience non-consensually, I didn't want it. Somehow that was a great numbing out for me, motivation to numb out the pain of missing my father. And all these things that I'm sharing, I hope that you can hear my desire to share this audio on my YouTube channel, because I've done so much healing that I see how somebody hearing my story, if you ran into this audio, please comment down below. I'd love to hear how it benefit you, because so many of us we don't know what we don't know. We don't understand sometimes, why am I attracting unavailable men? Why am I feeling so connected to this person that doesn't even want me as their girlfriend, who just wants me to be their friends with benefits? Why am I obsessing over this guy that doesn't even care about me? I'm making up these fantasies because he's a distraction. That's why. He's a distraction from the reality that in this moment, you're in a lot of sadness because either your mom or your dad left you and you felt abandoned by them. But the amazing thing that I realized that I didn't know is that regardless of what people are doing, it's our perception and the meanings that we give what they did that is what's actually hurting us. We are the ones that make up those stories. And whatever stories we made up about ourselves and our worthiness and our lovability and how, the enoughness that we are, That's what hurts us or helps us. And so we can stop focusing on the other person to heal. And this is where the ALVA Method is such an amazing approach, because we go inside. The ALVA Method is an approach. You are the love hormone. You are the healing hormone. You are the person that has these neurochemicals floating in your body that you can create. You have your own pharmacy inside you. And so you can learn how to purchase more love hormone in your pharmacy inside you and be a source of your own amazing healing hormone. And it's for free. This ability to learn it, definitely I offer trainings, how to teach people, and there is an investment for that, of course. But imagine living your life for the rest of your life, secreting your own neurochemicals of love and being a master at it, which the hormone of love is the healing hormone. It's the orgasm hormone, the whole body orgasm hormone. I'm not talking about clitoris here. I'm talking about G-spot and prostate, the deeper whole body, vagus nerve activated, orgasmic you. That is the relaxation response. That is the healing response in the body. Imagine people living connected to their own ability to create their own healing power for themselves. The ALVA Method is an interdependent, sovereign healing approach. It's coming into your life to teach you to be a sovereign man, sovereign woman. And that's why it works so well, because that's how you are designed to be. The ALVA Method approach, Amplify Love, Vibrate Abundance, is designed the way that you're designed, based on your own physiology and how it functions. And this is why people receive it so well when they're ready to. So if you feel ready to learn more about the ALVA Method, watch the video after this video and message me if you want to schedule a 30-minute breakthrough call to learn how to harness your own healing power, your healing hormone, love hormone, and orgasmic whole body orgasm hormone, and be your own source of joy, peace, inspiration, as I am to myself. And I have a very, very deep relationship with my body, with my emotional, my feelings, my soul, my heart. I honor myself today. I call myself a queen, an empress, a goddess. I feel myself that I am love. I am love. And it's okay if you don't like me. It's okay if you don't agree. It's okay if you're not into it, because I know today that I am enough. And whoever's ready to join me on the journey, awesome. And if you're not, I have so much compassion for you, because trust me, I resisted for so long being love, living my dream life, having it all, which today I can honestly say that is how I feel. I am living my dream life. I've cultivated this connection with my heart, with my soul, and I ask Creator, God, show me what's next. Show me what you want me to share. And I was woken up today at around, I think it was like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I don't even know the time right now, but I want to share more the truth and what comes up for me in my life, and how these approaches that I've created, been inspired to create, from my science background in physical therapy to my yoga background and just learning about the physiology of healing and tantra and psyche and NLP and hypnosis and all the different certifications that I have, studying a lot of courses with different masters in the world, sound healing, all the things that I've been learning over the years, I want to share for free on my YouTube channel for people to hear how does my life go, even as evolved and healed and processed I am. I want people to know that I go through my things too, and I just have so many awesome coping strategies and ways of processing my pains as they arise, and feeling my pains and honoring my pains and loving my pains and loving everything that happens and knowing that it's all there for me. It's happening for me. It's happening for us. And I see how today I'm not hard on myself. I have compassion for myself. All I want is to love myself. All I wish is to love people. All I want is to have compassion for people because I know everybody's doing their best. And so feel this love, this energy, this vibrance coming from my heart being so on. I get my heart on all the time. And I say, before you get your heart on, get your heart on. And this is a massive part of the ALVA Method approach. We are love. And the more we connect to our hearts, and I'll teach you how to do this, a step-by-step process of self-discovery, process of soul connection, deep, profound root healing. We get to also heal our ancestral wounds. We get to heal past life wounds. Everything just gets cleared when we activate our healing hormone. We don't even have to know or direct it. It just does. And it's very simple, actually. It's us that want the healing approach to be more complicated. And that's for the people that were raised like me, where everything has to be so complicated. That even our healing, we're like, what? This can't be so easy. It is, because you're so powerful. You're so amazing. We're all so miraculous. We're all so magical. We are the ones that we've been looking for. And when you close your eyes and you go inside, you open the door to the most powerful healing approach, pharmacy, drugs within yourself. And that's the truth. Love is where it's at. Love everything. Everything that happens to you, just decide to accept it. Anything and everything. You can just start to say that today. I choose to accept everything that's ever happened to me. Even if you don't feel it in your body, if you feel resistance to that, just message me. Or just watch the meditations for free on my YouTube channel if you want to learn more how to feel and process emotions. There's over 90 meditations on my YouTube channel. I'll put that playlist after this audio. So I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Let me know what came up. That's a soul share. That's called a soul share. I was woken up with this message coming out of my body, giving birth to these feelings and stories and whatever medicine, because I learned that sharing from the heart is another way of activating our healing abilities. When people share authentically, truthfully, it heals us. Let me know how this approach benefit you. I'm sending you so much love. Hang in there to all my codependents and all the people that spend their day talking about their narcissistic partners. Let's stop doing that and let's start working on ourselves, focusing on ourselves. That's another sign of codependency, is when you're focusing on the other person, sending them the videos, telling them they need to read certain books. I know, because I was that person, okay? But when you point the finger at somebody else, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. So it's always ourselves that we want to commune with, have deeper intimacy with. If you want to love your partner and heal your partner's relationships, focus on yourself. Create a beautiful, deep bond with yourself. Forgive yourself. Reach out to me, because I have a great forgiveness meditation, grief meditation, so many meditations for free that I want people, I genuinely want to serve millions and millions of people in my lifetime, because I have learned how to live heaven on earth. No matter what's happening around me, if I am love, I get to inspire everyone to feel what love is because of all the healing that I've done. And that, to me, is the most beautiful gift we can bring to the world. No matter what's happening in the world that I don't have control over, what I do have control over is that I can be an inspiration of love. I know that I can be that for myself. I've become that. I've become my own best friend. I've become my own biggest cheerleader. I've become my own greatest lover for myself. And that is medicine for others. They just smile when they see me because they can feel my joy. They can feel my peace. And we're all one. So You working on yourselves, you making the time to lay down and listen to the meditations on my YouTube channel for free, you are doing something amazing for the world by committing to your time for yourself. I'm sending you so much love. Comment down below. Let me know how this benefit you. Share it with many friends. And let's get everyone hooked on love. And imagine a world where everybody has compassion, where everybody's doing the deeper work, and we're no longer projecting on others all of our unhappiness, where we can just accept people where they're at on their journey, not take it personally, and increase the compassion we have for ourselves and each other, and we don't take things personally. And so this is what I wish for all of us. This is how I see one of the big solutions, solutions in the world, is by reminding us to do the deeper inner work. And that starts with closing your eyes, hands on your chest, and breathe. Have an awesome day. Lots of love to you from my heart to yours.